From stories across the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Nitya Delivera.
I'm Umin Hettiarachchi, and here are today's headlines. Farmers have been granted approval to engage in their traditional farming until the resolution of disputes. Also, a permanent solution to the wild elephant threat. Permission has been given to conduct tuition classes in all areas other than the western and isolated areas from the 25th of this month. Ranil Wickramasinghe says that he is prepared to extend support to eliminate the corona pandemic without any political objectives. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secures power in the Morawava Pradeshia Sabha as well. LTTE ban continues in America. There is a danger of the new corona variant identified in Britain spreading over in the US.
In your top story this evening, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says fullest permission is granted to all farmers to continuously engage in their traditional farming until resolution of disputes. He made these remarks participating in the Gama Samaga Pilisandara program in Vadikachia village in Madhuragiriya, Polonnaruwa today. The President has attended the 6th program of the Gama Samaga Pilisandara series today. The program began from the Badulla district in September last year. The previous 5 programs of the Gama Samaga Pilisandara were conducted covering the districts of Mathale, Ratnapura, Anuradhapura and Ampara districts. The President was not able to meet people in distant villages whose problems have not been properly highlighted before. He was also able to provide direct solutions to their problems. The Vadikachia village, located 45 kilometers away from the Polonnaruwa town, comes under the Madhuragiriya Divisional Secretariat Division. The area belongs to the D zone of the Mahavali Development Scheme. The extent of the area of the villages comprising also Samagipura, Darshanapura, Dahamvava and Peramaduwa is 79.04 square kilometers. There are 2,561 individuals and 723 families. The main source of livelihood of people in Vadikachia and surrounding villages is agriculture and self-employment. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, upon arrival in Bisopura village in Madhuragiriya, vested with the students, Bisopura Primary School. The commemoration plaque of the school was unveiled by former President Maithripala Sirisena. Thereafter, the President handed over to the principal of the school 2 computers donated by Sri Lanka Telecom and a television set presented by the Dialogue Institute. Later on, the President took part in a meeting held at the school playground. Polonnaruwa is one of the prominent districts confronting the wild elephant threat. The President focused attention on this long-standing problem and directed officials to provide permanent solutions.
පුළුවන් ඒ අලි ටික අහක් කළා. දැන් මේ කෑල්ල හඳුනාගෙන ඒකේ අලි ටික එහාට දාන්න ක්‍රමවේදයක් යොදන්න පුළුවන් නේ.
කරු ජනාධිපතිතුමනි මේකෙදී තියෙන කැලෑ ප්‍රදේශවල මහවැලිය විසින් ක්ලීන් මේක සුද්ධ කරන්න ඕනේ.
The villagers pointed out the damage was caused by deer to their cultivated lands in Vatadagaya Madhuragiriya area as a remedy to the problem. It has been decided to erect a wire mesh fence encircling the forest area where deer roam. Governor of the North Central Province, Mahipala Herath, has agreed to provide necessary allocations in this regard. The President also focused attentions on the problems in schools, hospitals, main roads and byroads of the area. He instructed authorities to expedite development activities in numerous places which have been stalled. Special attention of the President was also drawn towards the creation of vocational training opportunities for children after their studies in the GCE A-level examinations. The President promised to grant such openings after informing the State Minister in this connection. Another factor that has been subjected to the special attention of the President was the drinking water requirements in these villages. He has ordered the officials to complete construction of the project through a pipe-borne water to 10,000 families through construction of a water purification plant at the Kaudulla Vava Reservoir. The President has also informed relevant officials to provide power free of charge through provision of solar power systems to low-income families and schools unable to settle their electricity bills.
මේ තාක්ෂණය පාවිච්චි කළා තියෙන්නේ ප්‍රායෝගිකව ගමට ගිහිල්ලා නෙවෙයි. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා දැන් ඒවා ප්‍රායෝගිකව බලලා පාරම්පරිකව වගා කරපු එහෙම නැත්නම් දිගටම වගා කරගෙන යන ඒවා මැදින් ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒවා එයාට නිදහස් කරන්න අපි තීරණයක් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. තමන් වගා කරපු ඒවා තියෙනවා නම් දිගටම වගා කරන්න ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ එහෙම වගා කිරීමේදී අර අලුතින් කැල
State Minister Siripala Gamlath and Roshan Rana Singha government officials, including ministry secretaries, have also participated in the Gama Samaga Pili Sandara program.
Meanwhile, the number of recoveries from COVID-19 has increased to 44,746. It is a percentage of 86.16. Another 13.35% is under treatment, which includes 6,936 patients. 9,417 have left the hospital from the beginning of the month up to now after recovering from the virus. The highest number of recoveries was recorded in the first of the month, which was 826. 487 left today after recovering from the illness. 135 persons under treatment at COVID-19 centers in Polonnaruwa district left today after recovering from the illness. They were residents of Colombo, Gampaha, Kandy and Kalutara districts. Another 343 COVID-infected persons were found today. 340 of them were contacts of Paliagoda COVID cluster. Other 3 contacts were from a prison cluster. 15,146 PCR tests have been conducted yesterday. A total of 1,471,406 PCR tests have been conducted so far in the country. 22 COVID-19 patients have been identified in 31 PCR tests conducted in 5 factories in Horana Export Processing Zone. The Office of Ingeriya Medical Officers Health says that measures have been taken to temporarily close down 3 factories. PCR tests were also conducted on around 200 close contacts of the patients. 547 Sri Lankan nationals from Qatar, Japan, Germany, Mali, Italy, England, Oman, Bangladesh, China, Ethiopia and Dubai have arrived in the country yesterday. They have been sent to quarantine centres maintained by the armed forces. Under the program to bring foreign tourists to the country, another batch of 316 Ukraine nationals have arrived in the island from Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport yesterday. Dhamma schools in all areas of the country other than those in the Western Province and isolated areas are scheduled to recommence tomorrow. Program to educate Dhamma school teachers on conducting classes according to health guidelines was held. These sessions were conducted in Sinigama and Hikkaduwa. Permission has been granted to conduct tuition classes only for GCE advanced level and ordinary level students in areas outside the Western Province beginning the 25th of this month. Police have implemented special operations to find out whether government and non-government institutions are carrying out functions according to health guidelines. Accordingly, 1,311 institutions were subjected to inspections yesterday. The police say that it has found 213 institutions out of these were not adhering to protective health measures.
Now, the Sri Lanka Podujana Professional Lecturers Association commends the government for taking measures to recommence private tuition educational services in line with health guidelines. President of the Sri Lanka Podujana Professional Lecturers Association parliamentarian Gunapala Ratnasekara said that the health sections were allowed to take a decision devoid of political influence. He added that was the reason for the delay in making a decision. He added that as an outcome of the success of the discussions, it has now become possible to recommence classes. President of the association further said that all guidelines issued by the Director General of Health Services previously have now become valid. All must act according to these rules. He further said that 4 additional guidelines have been issued. Parliamentarian Gunapala Ratnasekara has also pointed out that not more than 50% of capacity of facilities available in the educational institutes to be used, and measures are to be taken to prevent travelling of students in between districts. Furthermore, measures have also been taken to prevent grouping of students before and after classes. Private tuition classes should not be conducted in areas where travel restrictions have been imposed. Accordingly, the communique grants permission to commence classes only in areas where schools are functioning. Special emphasis has been made to minimize as much as possible the number of students attending the classes. Now, in the meantime, Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath has expressed his opinions regarding importation of vaccines against COVID-19 being used by other countries. He has also commented on the importance to further consolidate existing health guidelines to control the corona pandemic even after commencement of private classes and reopening of schools.
There have been many discussions going on about the vaccines available in the world and that could be available in Sri Lanka. And there is much speculation about which vaccine will come to Sri Lanka first and which will be given to whom. However, the Ministry of Health is studying the available information related to the safety and efficacy of each vaccine, and we are in the process of preparing ourselves for deliver the vaccine as and when these vaccines are available. However, the decision as to which vaccine would be available in Sri Lanka will be taken by the Health Ministry together with the agencies affiliated to it, like the NMRA, the National Medicinal Drugs Authority, and other agencies, depending on based on the information as well as the opinion of the experts of this field, so that we will be giving only the safest and the most efficacious vaccine to the people. So therefore, I would like to urge the public to be patient and then wait. Probably very soon these vaccines will be available in Sri Lanka, and we will be immediately deploying, or the vaccination process will be started. Regarding the private classes, we know that the school have been started, and initially there could have been many shortcomings, but gradually they have been able to rectify many of them, and now gradually the situation is becoming smooth, and then more and more students are coming to the schools, and the Dahampasal and Dhamma schools are also going to be started probably from tomorrow or soon. And that is also, again, I would like to ask all the parents that all necessary precautions that were taken in schools need to be carried out even in Dhamma schools or Sunday schools where these activities are carried out. And about the private tuition, again, the organizations involved in the private tuition have already made requests to the Health Ministry, and we are in the process of developing the guidelines and other documents related to this activity, and the organizers of these private tuition classes, organizations involved in this, are also have prepared their own guidelines, and they have promised to take the leadership and the responsibility to keep these places safe and secure in respect of COVID spread. And probably very soon, once the education, generally school education activities as well as these Dhamma school activities are settled, the private tuition process also will be taken into consideration, and probably the Ministry of Health together with all other authorities will give permission to the private tuition classes as well if there are no more further complications related to this.
Now for a global update on the coronavirus pandemic. Taking a look at the USA, a newly high transmissible variant of the coronavirus, first discovered in Britain, could become the dominant variant in the United States by March. The US Center for Disease Control and Prevention warned yesterday.
The worldwide coronavirus death toll surpassed 2 million people on Friday, as nations around the world are racing to inoculate their populations as new variants of COVID-19 are increasingly detected. In the US, a more transmissible variant of the coronavirus first discovered in Britain has now been found in 10 states. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Friday warned that it could become the dominant circulating variant in the United States by March. The variant is believed to be twice as contagious as the current version of the virus circulating in the U.S. So far, 76 people from 10 U.S. states have been infected with the UK variant. The CDC says the highly contagious variant also increases the percentage of the population that needs to be vaccinated to achieve protective herd immunity to control the pandemic. And while a vaccine rollout is underway, officials warn the situation is likely to get worse before it turns around. U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's incoming Chief of Staff, Ron Klain, said on Friday he expects the United States to hit 500,000 COVID-19 deaths next month.
Now, in the meantime, Brazil's COVID-stricken Amazonas state was in desperate need of oxygen yesterday as global fears grew of a new Brazilian variant of the virus.
Oxygen supplies are flown to the coronavirus-hit Amazonas state by the Brazilian army, as fears grew worldwide on Friday over a new Brazilian variant of the disease, which researchers say could be contributing to a sharp rise in cases there. Nearly 6,000 people have died in Amazonas from COVID-19, and it's now in the grip of a devastating second wave. Scientists are trying to work out whether this variant is more contagious than earlier ones, but there are signs it is spreading overseas. That concern led Britain to ban travellers from Brazil and other South American countries as a result, as well as banning Portugal, which has close ties to Brazil, after Japan said it had detected the Brazilian variant in 4 travellers from Amazonas. Amazonas extended its urgent call for oxygen to the United States, as hospitals in the capital, Manaus, neared breaking point. Scores of patients are being airlifted from Manaus, an isolated city deep in the Amazon rainforest, to other states. The variant found in Brazil has 12 mutations, including one also found in the highly contagious variants discovered in Britain and South Africa. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro has been lambasted for downplaying the severity of Brazil's outbreak, though it's the world's second deadliest. As pressure mounts on the country to get vaccinations underway, he cast doubt on the shot's efficacy on Thursday. As a leader, I wouldn't force you to take it, he says, adding that it isn't, quote, scientifically proven. Brazil plans to start inoculations in the middle of next week.
The U.S. State Department has stated that the LTTE continues to be a banned organization. According to a review of the U.S. State Department, it has amended its foreign terrorist organization list, and the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam remain to be a banned organization. Under the designated foreign terrorist organizations list, the LTTE can be seen listed as an organization designated since the 10th of August 1997. The State Department release issued on Thursday. It has amended the terrorist designations of Lashkar-i-Jangavi and ISIL Sinai Peninsula to include as additional aliases.
Leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, says that they are prepared to extend support to eradicate the corona pandemic from the country without any political objectives. He was addressing a media briefing in Colombo today. Leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, said that the corona will not end right away. He has asked the people not to think that the virus would go away with the introduction of the vaccine. The UNP leader added, therefore, all of them, irrespective of their political opinion, are willing to extend assistance to the government and the parliament in their program to confront the pandemic. Ranil Wickremesinghe also said that the problem lies before the country is not changing the government but to face the struggle of living and protecting health. He has also requested government to divulge the situation in parliament before seeking their assistance.
Now, in the meantime, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has been successful in securing power in the Moravava Pradeshia Sabha in Trincomalee. W.R. Jagat Kumara Varagama, representing the SLPP, has been elected as the new chairman of the Pradeshia Sabha in a vote conducted yesterday. The Moravava Pradeshia Sabha is comprised of 16 councillor seats. In the local government poll conducted in the year 2018, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was able to obtain 7 seats. The Tamil National Alliance, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the United National Party united and secured power in the Pradeshia Sabha, and the SLPP functioned as the opposition. However, in a vote conducted in the Pradeshia Sabha regarding the annual budget on 31st of December last year, the ruling party was defeated. Thereafter, the SLPP formed a new administration with the support of comrade parties. The 7 SLPP members as well as the 3 UMP members and 1 SLFP member have voted for the Podujana Peramuna. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has also been successful yesterday in securing power in the Upper Valley town Kadavat Sathara Pradeshia Sabha in Trincomalee, which has remained under the control of the Tamil National Alliance for a period exceeding 25 years.
Measures have been taken to implement a speedy program to develop places of tourist attraction in the Mathura district. Special programs are also undertaken to uplift agriculture and irrigation facilities in the district. This was disclosed at a Livelihood Development Committee meeting at Mathura District Secretariat yesterday. The tourist locations in the 45-kilometre stretch of the coast are to be upgraded. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, participating in the meeting, has also instructed officials to enhance the necessary allocations to cultivate abandoned paddy fields and to reconstruct paddy storages in Mathura district. A sum of 1,100 million rupees has been set aside in this regard. More than 200 million rupees have also been allocated for the development of agriculture in the district. Setting up of a seed processing unit for the speedy sales and enhancing in production of farmers' produce, including seeds and planting material, are being carried out utilizing these funds. Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena, State Minister Kanchana Wijesekara, Mathura District Coordinating Committee Chairman and Parliamentarian Nipuna Ranawaka and Parliamentarian Veerasumana Veerasinghe were among the large gathering present at the discussion. Reconstruction of Undukumburavava Reservoir in Unapana, Uwa Paranagama has commenced today. The cost of the project is estimated at 9.7 million rupees. 150 farmer families are to be benefited. Land Development Cooperation with the assistance of 3 armed forces engaged in the reconstruction process. The Vavanavath Road in Piliyantala and by-roads across Egodoyana are to be reconstructed with carpeting. Minister Gamini Lokugwe has presided over commencement ceremony today. The work is to be completed within 2 weeks. Teacher appointments have also been presented to 327 national diploma holders in faculties of education in the Northwestern Province today. Provincial Governor Raja Kolu Ulwe presided over the ceremony at Northwestern Province Council Auditorium. The new recruits are to be assigned to duties in school in educational zones. House in Henamulla Matakulia have been presented to 72 families who have been deprived of their residences in Madampitiya 318 Watta due to construction of multi-stories housing complex. State Minister Nalaka Godaheva was symbolically handed over the keys of 20 of the affected families in a ceremony yesterday.
Now, Minister of Education Professor G.L. Piri says that a program will be formulated with the objective of providing an official residence to every principal. The minister points out that such a measure would enable them to maintain school functioning in a more active and successful manner. He also says that the success of a school depends upon the leadership abilities and personality of a principal. Minister Professor Pires made these remarks participating in a workshop titled Igenemuta Aramunak Vurthiya Mampetak, dedicated to training principals and teachers in Kalathura today. Education Minister Professor G.L. Peri said that children are the group with the lowest tension in society. However, he said that we do not allow them to entertain themselves during their childhood years. It is we who add tension to their lives. The minister further said that competition takes place not between children but between parents. The child who leaves home at 2:30 in the afternoon will have to study in tuition classes until 10:30 in the night. There are tuition classes even at 5 o'clock in the morning. The Education Minister also said that children should be educated at the commencement of classes on the need to wear face masks, maintain social distance and to wash hands. In addition, the children should be trained towards a proper living condition. He added that the adults should always strive to focus special attention on nutrition, behavioral patterns, stress management and mental health of children.
Sri Lanka is set to reopen its airports for the international travellers from January 21st. Hotel sector is gearing up with the new innovations to grab the opportunities missed during the last year due to COVID-19. Adding attractive items to existing hotel structure is one of these new ventures introduced in the post-pandemic era. With that in mind, Cinnamon Grand Colombo yesterday launched Plates. Its 24-hour gourmet dining venue with unparalleled collective of tastes and flavors from around the world. The restaurant will be open to public from Saturday the 19th December 2020, adhering to strengthened COVID-19 guidelines as directed by the government, the Ministry of Health protocols. Plates has total seating capacity of 163, with deck area seating 41, while all guests are subjected to strict health and safety protocols. General Manager Cinnamon Grand Colombo, Kamal Munasinghe, commenting on the new restaurant, said that Plates offers a place for foreign and local guests to come together and experience a multitude of international cuisine 24 hours of the day. The national television will telecast 2 latest teledramas every Saturday and Sunday with effect from today. The aim is to bring teledramas of high quality to the viewers. The teledrama titled Gamaniya, directed by Senaka Edirisinghe, telecasted on every Saturday and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Prominent actors are Palitha Silva, Dharmapriya Dias, Jahan Apuhami and Umangana Vikramasinghe. Renegalava were teledrama directed by Chandana Dharmapriya, telecasted every Saturday and Sunday on 9 p.m. The actors and actresses comprised of Sagara Sekara, Asha Edirisinghe, Suvinita Veerasinghe, Nayana Kumari and Uddika Premaratna. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break. That's it for tonight's English News Update. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.